I am recording. Looking good.
All the levels looking good.
The levels are looking all right.
That does not inspire confidence.
What are you gonna do, right?
Check your audio settings. Get a new microphone. Run an update to make sure it's not something in your computer messing shit up. You can do a lot, man. Like, there are options.
Yeah, I've messed with the settings a lot. And you know, I have updated the drivers. And I'm not going to buy a new microphone because I don't need to get PUBG for free a second time.
I forgot about that. I'm recording. Are we just going into it?
I'm just going out of it.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Whatever that means.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 104th episode of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, recorded on July 19th, 2020. Today on the podcast, we have...
Me! The interrupting guy!
What was that?
I don't know why my phone just went off just now.
Am I on silent? I'm on silent.
Very loud.
What was it?
No idea. I quickly hit the volume down button because I'm very good at that. Because I work in corporate. Everyone learns quickly how good to silence their phone.
Hell yeah. And that guy is Ryan Holtz. Also on the podcast today, we have a man who hasn't had his phone on ring for half a decade, Andrew Clark.
I've never responded to a single notification. I live my life in a quiet state of serenity.
Oh my god.
Because I can't be bothered.
Andy's back.
Oh god.
Oh no, this is just Andy.
Oh. The pretentiousness made me think it was Andy, but...
Turns out Andrew's just pretentious.
Andrew's just got a little bit of Andy in him.
Andrew, can I tell a story involving your phone that might paint you in a slightly negative light?
I paint myself in a slightly negative light every time I come on this podcast. Be my guest.
I think it was sophomore year of college when we were living together that you just kind of decided, yep, no phone day. Not going to check my phone. Phone's going to be off the entire time. But then you and Jade decided you wanted to order in Chinese food. So you turned your phone on for that, and then for some reason then gave it to me to like get the notification that it was like the delivery person was there.
I don't remember.
It was very strange.
Oh man, I really don't remember that at all.
I'm not gonna. I totally believe it because it's just too distinct for it to be completely fabricated.
Yeah, no, I believe you, but I feel really fucking weird because I don't remember that happening. I remember there was a time where I was going to like not use my phone. I thought I was going to go like a couple of days without using it, but I don't remember. I don't remember giving it to you or ordering a pizza or any of that.
Interesting.
Damn, Andrew, you weird.
Yeah, Andrew hears a story. Wow, what a fucking weirdo. And then,
it was you.
No. That was me. Yeah, why didn't you just have Lucas order it or something? Or Jade even?
I don't know why. I can't get back in my mindset. That file has been erased from my memory.
Nice.
So, yeah, I don't know. Do you know why I did it, Lucas?
I don't.
Did you try to talk him out of it at all?
Yeah, but in kind of like a flabbergasted, wait, what are you asking me to do right now and why? And like, I don't know. It was weird.
I definitely believe you. It just doesn't sound like, to me, something that I would do, but...
It'd be mean
weird
to say that it does sound like something you would do, But let's just say if I had a poll of everyone that I was friends with sophomore year of college and they asked, who amongst this group of people would have a no phone day and then, have to use their phone because they need to order food. It might have been you. I don't know. You'd be on the short list, maybe.
Damn. Somehow that made me feel a lot worse about myself than I expected.
I'm sorry.
Wow. I mean, you're pretty technophobic, like, especially at that time in your life. Like, I'd buy it. It would make sense. These phones, they're destroying human civilization.
You know what, Ryan? You're right. I have been a little too technophobic. I haven't, kept up with the latest technology. So I'm gonna try to be better. I'm gonna try to, not be afraid of technology so much. I'm just gonna make a little note of that here. Do not be afraid of technology.
I love it.
I'm dying.
The typewriter.
I'm dying inside.
Oh, he pulled it off. He did it.
I'm literally dying inside.
Andrew.
Yay.
I'm Lucas the writer, by the way, but that doesn't fucking matter right now. Andrew, what? You have a typewriter now. What is that like?
It's awesome. I spent $35 on this typewriter, plus $15 in shipping, bringing the total cost up to $50. I got a brand new ribbon, but the ribbon on it is actually fully functional. And I have gotten enough joy out of it in the 2 days that I have had it, outside of like when I've been camping, that it has already paid back the $50 that I spent on it.
How many manuscripts have you written so far?
Oh, so many manuscripts.
God.
I've already submitted 3 scripts to Hollywood.
I think
at least 2 of them are going to get picked up. So
I think
see you guys at the Oscars.
I think you have an open invite to contribute to Harper's Magazine whenever you want now.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So bad.
But no, yeah, this shit's fucking awesome. Like, it looks really good. It's fully functional. I didn't have to do any maintenance to it. It's just really fun to use. And it is so dumb, and I know that, but like, god damn it, is it fun to write on.
I absolutely love it, and I'm so proud of you for pulling the trigger.
What's your journal looking like? Is it getting more positive because you're writing it on the piece of technology that you enjoy so much?
I'm still gonna write the journal in the notebook.
Oh my god!
Because I have it. Like, I have the notebook. I can't just stuff typed pages into it. I don't know.
I mean, you could swap into a packet, a beautiful typewritten packet.
Oh,
you could get the gold things that like hold together 3-hole punch paper.
I was about to
say, everyone
yeah,
at my company does with scripts.
3-ring binder setup. There you go.
Make a nice journal packet that you type out. How's the erasing? How does that go?
So with this kind of typewriter, it has a color switch. So the ribbon is 2 different colors. The top band is black, and the bottom band you can get ones that are red for like correcting. But the one that came with it is a whiteout. Mm-hmm. So if you go back to where you fucked something up, you can switch to white, type in what you fucked up, and it imprints over the black ink white ink with the same character, so then it erases it. Then you can just type over it.
Clackety,
and it sounds more complicated than what it actually is when you're doing it.
No, I mean, I've used a typewriter, yeah. That's how it works. Clickety clackety.
Yep.
Wait, does it ding?
It does ding.
Do a ding.
Let me just... Okay.
Ah, that's some ASMR right there.
God, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I know. The first time I heard that, I was typing out this line to see when it dings, and then it ding, and I lost my mind.
And Jade also lost her mind from having to live with the constant clickety clackety.
She likes it. She likes it.
Wow.
I mean, she doesn't like, watching TV and having me hear like but like she likes using it.
Oh, I'm sure, but
yeah, no,
if you're using it,
I'm sure that she fucking hates it. And
she's going full lighthouse mode, just like literally losing her mind. Every successive click driving her further off the cliff of insanity.
Each click is met with a singular eye twitch.
Yep.
Well, right now I have it on my desk in the office, obviously, because I'm recording. Usually it's out in the living room. We have a writing desk that is also a sewing machine that Jade's aunt gave her that she never uses.
Okay.
And it's the perfect size to put this typewriter on. But I have thought about just keeping it here in the office so I don't drive her absolutely bonkers.
Apartment must have good soundproofing if you can't hear it through the walls. I applaud. We found a positive thing about Andrew's apartment. Oh my god.
It's really not that loud compared to like some typewriters that I've seen before.
Yeah, typewriters are like unbearably loud. I'd be shocked. Typing right into that microphone.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Good for you, man. Also, Clickety Clackety is now in the short list for episode titles. But before we... fucking... Damn it, I lost the transition. We're gonna move into news of the week now. Playing music.
Thank you, Lucas, for playing that music.
We have 4 entries in this planning doc. This is gonna be a weird episode, so fucking here we go. Take it away, Redberry.
That's me.
Take it away,
I'm Redberry.
Shit Brown.
Wait. Not okay. That is not shit brown.
We've been over this before. It has always been the color Red Berry 2, or I'm sorry, just Red Berry. Red Berry 2 is a different color, and Ryan always refers to it as shit brown, and then he changes the color to dark red 3, which is kind of almost a shit brown, and it's just.
Right,
not cool.
Ryan, unless you are putting back beaks like for every meal, if that is the color of your stool, please check in on that.
Yeah, it's a little red. I'd say it's getting in that brown part of the spectrum, though. That's more of a maroon than a red.
Okay, we are talking about the typeface. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I was genuinely worried for a second. Regardless, take it away, Andrew.
So Sony basically doubled their intended production of PlayStation 5 for launch, which is, helping ease some fears that it was going to be like almost impossible to get a hold of. Originally, they said that they'd probably only have about 5 million consoles at launch, which doesn't seem like a lot for a PlayStation launch, but they did recently say that that they were going to up that to 9 or 10 million by launch. Before it wasn't that that they weren't able to produce it because of the coronavirus, but it was difficult for them to get parts. And they said that because of the coronavirus, it had up to the cost of getting those parts and that kind of stuff. And either they have just decided to muscle through that, or they've found a way to get the parts for cheap. Also, there's some rumors that we might be seeing pre-orders open up soon. A couple of different online websites like Amazon and a few other stores have brought up like complete web pages for the PlayStation 5 as a product, like featuring all of its, cool tech shit that Sony likes to tout out there, which, is usually followed by pre-orders. And then someone from Sony PlayStation recently went out there and said, like, hey guys, we'll let you know when pre-orders are coming. We're not just going to spring it on you and say, have at it. And like, we'll give you a little bit of, time beforehand so that it's coming, which kind of sounds like they're getting people to get ready to know when pre-orders will come.
Get ready to get ready.
To get
ready to buy the console.
To pre-order something which will then come later, so get ready.
Are they going to put pre-orders out before they put a price out? Is that a thing that can happen?
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen.
If the pre-order is like just a reservation, then they absolutely could do that. because then people could cancel.
They're not going to be like, put your credit card number and pin in here, and then we'll charge you an indiscriminate number of dollars later. How much does this cost? Yes.
A lot.
Cool. Glad I will be able to get a PlayStation 5 at launch without too much issue. Assuming that, the U.S. handling of coronavirus doesn't lead to every place I could buy one shutting down.
Delivery!
Fingers crossed. Porter Bridges will bring you that PlayStation. You can play that now, Ryan. You can play that on PC. You can play that right now.
Oh my god, can I mod it into a good game?
You won't have to. It already is.
I disagree. Maybe there's a Fallout mod or something. Adds Preston Garvey to the game.
I actually cannot think of a game more with a different style of world compared to Fallout than Death Stranding.
Norman Reedus, another settlement needs your help. Here, I'll mark it on your backpack.
You're not that far off.
What a weird slash fiction right there.
Die Hard Man says that a couple of times, more or less.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, Andrew, for the PlayStation 5 update, and then
You're welcome.
And then tying into that, Microsoft halts the production of this is actually an error from when I put it in here originally.
Yeah.
Halts the production.
Yeah, I saw that, and at first I thought you meant that they just quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not making consoles anymore. Like, that seems like bigger news.
Halts the production of Xbox Ones. Xbox One all digital editions, but they're still going to make the Xbox One S's.
That's the original. The OG.
Yeah.
So they halted the production of like the souped up Xbox One X and the Xbox One S all digital, but they're just going to keep making like the OG Xbox One.
Yeah.
Because in theory, the Xbox Series X is just going to be a better version of the Xbox One X. So
right, and then that ties into a different point down below, which more or less the takeaway is that there won't be any Xbox Series X exclusives for a couple of years after the console comes out, and that Microsoft is taking a kind of phone upgrade perspective to these consoles.
That's gonna go great.
As somebody who go for it.
So, sorry, I just want to clarify. When you say that, you mean that even when new games come out for the Xbox, not just that they'll be backwards compatible, but that you will be able to just play them on like this current gen of Xbox?
Sorry, I saw something in this second article.
Is that what you're saying though, Lucas?
Or that
like you won't have to get the new console to play the new video games?
Or that a version for the old generation will come out alongside a version for the new generation? Yes. Yeah. What's up, Brian? What's the revelation?
It says at the very end, just as a little addition, Sony is also getting on board with bringing its exclusives beyond the PlayStation family of consoles.
Ooh.
The PS4 game, Horizon Zero Dawn, is coming to PC in August. Woo!
Oh, you didn't know that?
Yeah.
No. Why don't you guys all just get fucking PCs and we can just play PC games?
Because I don't want to wait.
All console games are going to be on PC in like a few years, it seems like.
Then I'll do it then. I don't want to wait right now.
I will get a PlayStation 5, and in a couple of years, because by that point I'll have enough time where I will have gotten extremely swole. I can make a video where I build my own PC, my own gaming PC, and send it out to the masses and say, look, I made this.
Yeah.
It's the size of a fucking kitchen.
He's like a super nerd too, is the best part. Like he's crazy into video games.
And like he just like posts pictures of him painting Warhammer figurines. Henry Cavill's a fucking... If Henry Cavill wasn't a rich charismatic movie star with giant muscles, he'd be a fucking loser.
No, he'd be a loser. He'd be a super nerd.
Andrew, let me tell you about how jawlines work. Like, even if Henry Cavill wasn't fucking ripped, he'd still be hot.
Yeah. Henry Cavill is
I'm a big fan.
Literally, it's like fucking Ivan Drago. What was that actor's name? I forgot. I know it. I'm really upset in myself that I've forgotten it.
Googling.
Clickety clackety, mechanical keyboard.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren. He's got like masters in engineering from MIT. like it's sometimes like genetics just decides this guy gets everything or this girl gets everything. Like you're just literally a perfect human being. That's cool. Like
and I mean, like I don't know him personally, but everybody seems to love Henry Cavill. Like everyone that works with him says that he's just a great dude, but he's also like a super nerd and jacked as shit.
Yeah.
And very attractive, and also rich and highly successful.
Also, there's that scene from the Mission Impossible trailer where he like loads his fist.
Yeah, no, he like jacks his fucking arms. He's like, you hear like a shotgun.
Yeah,
rack.
Exactly. He's racking a shotgun with his fists because he's a badass. And everyone looking at it was like, "Holy fuck! What?"
Why did he do that?
Why did he do that? But also, I'm intimidated right now.
Why does it
so I
look
guess that's
cool?
why.
Oh, I hope this.
I mean, if you saw Henry Cavill come up to you and it's like, "We're gonna fight," and then did that with his arms, you'd be like, "Oh my god!" I just heard the seams of his shirt rip.
Yeah, exactly. Your seams ripped, and it sounded like you were racking a shotgun. And I'm going to run now. And you'll probably be like an Olympic sprinter, though. So. Because you're fucking good at everything, apparently. So that's cool.
I really hope his career bounces back from playing Superman. Like, I feel like he could be a really interesting actor to follow if he escapes that role.
I think he's too broad. He's never going to be like an interesting actor, you know. He's always just going to be like a mega star who can lead a movie, but he's, you know, going to be more like...
He'll be Geralt.
Yeah. Whatever.
I feel like he's gonna say yes to a lot of like weird projects though, because he is a fucking nerd. Like if they ever make a Western Berserk movie, he is in that like 100%. And
yeah, but something's got to pay the bills.
That's true.
And it's gonna be like when The Rock did Skyscraper or whatever the fuck. Like eventually, you're just opening movies because the company's paying you $100 million to open a movie.
Hey, one for you, one for the bosses. That's how this works.
It isn't.
Yeah.
You can
I don't
escape
know
it.
if Henry Cavill would be like, all right, I'm going to do Disney's The Jungle Book, and then I will follow that up with the voice role of an indie film because I liked his, I don't know, fucking fan fiction.
Henry Cavill's big into like slash fiction. He reads.
I mean,
Batman.
I have
Superman,
no proof that he
fiction.
is, but would you say that doesn't make sense?
Andrew, that is a very particular form of nerddom that I don't know if I would ascribe to somebody who doesn't.
Andrew, run! I can hear the seams. His fists are cocking. Don't look behind you. Just run. Throw your typewriter at him. That'll slow him down.
You just like punch through it and shatter it into individual keys.
Yeah, all the keys literally like explode. They turn into
typey.
Typey.
No.
If you had to name your typewriter, what's its name? And if it's typey,
I'm not gonna name my typewriter.
Boo.
I think you have to name your typewriter. I think this is a rule now.
I'll come up with a name eventually.
I think in the course of this podcast.
Get us.
I'll name it Galaxy because it's a Smith Corona Galaxy Deluxe.
Get us to $30 on Patreon, and Andrew will name his typewriter.
Whatever you say, you get to choose.
Yeah.
Typey, McTypeface.
Typewriter, McTypewriter.
Yes. All right. Last up in news. because that kind of week, I guess. Twitch says that army recruiters can't lie to young people they're trying to recruit anymore, at least on the Twitch platform.
Can you imagine if Twitch tried to, like, extend that past Twitch's platform? No, we're the cops now, U.S. Army. We're going to hunt down all your recruiters. Every time they tell a lie, we're going to call them on their bullshit. Every high school across America.
You can get stationed anywhere you want. Liar!
That's bullshit. Hey, if you join the reserves, you'll almost certainly not get called up to active service.
Yeah.
No, you're full of fucking shit. You're gonna send this fucking 17-year-old to fucking Afghanistan. You're full of shit.
If you join the Army Reserves, you'll be able to protect your community and not beat up protesters. Liar!
Somehow more hilariously, this is specifically in reference to bogus controller giveaways that the Army Reserve, that the U.S. Army was running, and it would just send them to like a sign-up page for, I think it was the draft or some selective service or whatever, but yeah. Army was promising controllers to people that they were never going to deliver on.
Aren't you required, though, to sign up for the selective service?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Making sure that I didn't do it, even though I didn't
Ryan
have to.
did it for fun.
Yeah. I was told this was mandatory, and if it's not, I have some calls to make.
Can I unsubmit myself for the draft?
Yeah.
Back when we thought World War III was going to happen, I got a very strained call from my parents, like asking if I had signed up for selective services and if the draft might be coming back for this. That was a moment.
I mean, it's not a choice. Like, you'll get in a lot of trouble if you don't sign up.
Right.
And then you'll still probably get drafted.
Yep.
I imagine the people that like try to dodge selective service are gonna be put right up at the top of the list. If
like, we're gonna send you up front, bitch.
Yeah. Hey, wow, that's terrible for you. You signed up for the meat grinder division. Well, them's the breaks, kid.
Frontline infantry.
Yep. Yeah, it's like trench warfare. World War III reverts back somehow. We have all this crazy future.
Yeah, it's like wait,
guerrilla
we
shit.
have to dig a trench. Yeah, that's right. But we have predator drones and satellite laser beams and shit.
The enemy has like air to surface munitions. Like the trenches are gonna be just deadly. Like they're gonna be death pits. We're digging our own graves. Yeah.
That's right.
That's how war works.
That's what you get for dodging the draft.
Yeah. And they just kill you. They don't even try to use you. It's just execution. Oh, man.
You know what we call people like you? Target practice.
Oh my god. This is getting dark.
Christ. Okay, we gotta
The
roll.
Is dark. Putting that out there.
Anything happening in television, film, or other?
Oh, there's so much stuff happening in other.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in other.
Yeah.
Fuck.
How about Portland?
No.
Hey, we've got the Gestapo. They
Literal
exist
secret
in
police.
America. Don't you love it?
We're gonna send feds to Portland, but the Portland government says no. Fuck them. We're gonna send them anyway. Well, who are we gonna send? Well, guess who is known for their cruelty and brutality.
And are super loyal to the president and his policies and his party. Almost like the Gestapo.
The Border Patrol!
Literally the Gestapo. This is so great, you guys. We have a Gestapo disappearing American citizens.
Yeah.
Did you ever think we'd get here? I wasn't sure, but now I am.
When you see videos of fucking secret police decked out in camo and tactical gear ripping off the like ID badges for like reporters and then beating the shit out of them because they said they weren't reporters, and then throwing people in the back of like fucking Escalades with no markings on them and driving away. Yeah, that's horrifying.
And pointing guns at their friends and saying that if they follow them, they're going to kill them.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
This is like, I really feel like people are thinking I'm speaking hyperbolically.
No. This is real. It's all recorded.
Like a secret political police, completely along the lines of the Gestapo.
No way
in
to
Nazi Germany.
No way to identify these people. No way to hold them accountable. Fucking yeah.
And then the Border Patrol put out a statement basically saying, like, yeah, that's us out there. And then people are like, well, maybe don't do that. And they're like, what? You want violence in the streets and anarchy?
Yeah.
Like, well, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
What do you want? Everyone to be really scared?
They're like, don't you think it's fucked up that they're not, identifying themselves and have no markings? They're like, yeah, it is fucked up, because if they had those on there, people would dox them. Yeah, you're right. This is a horrible world we live in.
No, guys, like, they might spray graffiti on a statue of a slave owner. Like, do you not understand why we're out here right now?
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Like,
they might actually change people's minds and start to think that, maybe there's something to this. People sure seem worked up for the right reasons, and maybe I should do some research. That would be unacceptable.
Hey, fellow cop buddy, why are these people protesting? They're protesting because police officers beat the shit out of protesters. Oh man, that makes me mad. I'm gonna go beat up some fucking protesters to work off this steam.
I can't believe the response from the people in power was saying, oh wow, people really don't like cops right now. Let's get the Border Patrol in there.
Yeah.
The Department of Homeland Security. Don't you love it?
God damn it.
Also, Congressman, what is it, Crenshaw? The guy that SNL made fun of that one time?
Yeah.
He retweeted Andy Ngo, or whatever the fuck that guy's name is, who was doxing a bunch of protesters who cops had released because they didn't do anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray!
It's because they're shit.
Yep. And people like that have been put on hit lists. Hooray! Yeah.
Imagine being John Lewis and the last thing that, like, you experience, like, in this country before you die is shit just devolving before your eyes to the point of, like, actual fascism. And being like, well, I tried.
I guess now would be a good time to mention that, civil rights leader and Congressman John Lewis passed away recently.
I'm so fucking bummed out, man.
Yeah.
Like,
obviously,
God damn it.
With everyone who's been in the public light as long as he was, everyone who's been a politician as long as he was, obviously there are multiple opinions about him, but I think it's fair to say that when people talk about leaders of men, that John Lewis definitely fits that description more than maybe anyone else from the modern era, and his passing is definitely a loss. And thoughts to his family right now, and everyone close to him. It's truly a shame.
Yeah, man.
And Marco Rubio posted a picture of Elijah Cummings.
Oh, yeah.
That was horrifying.
What?
Was it, though?
I missed it.
Wasn't it Matt Gaetz? Or was it Marco Rubio?
What?
Or was it
it was Marco Rubio. I mean, it's possible other people did, but Marco Rubio posted a picture of him talking with Elijah Cummings, and like the message was, like, John Lewis was a great leader, like, yada yada yada, like, basically, like, rest in peace. But then it was a picture of Marco Rubio talking to Elijah Cummings, who's just another old bald black man.
Yeah.
And people are like, that's fucked. You know both of them personally.
Do they? Or is it just a perfect example of how...
co-workers, at the very least.
No, they're fucking not. He has no respect for any of those people, and he realizes, maybe I can cash in and be a quote-unquote good Republican if I...
No, I get that, but I'm saying that, like, he knows who they are. Like,
I don't know that he does,
the fact
man.
that he couldn't distinguish them just shows how fucking awful he is.
I don't know that he does. I think it's doubly bad.
Right.
I think not only he should absolutely be able to distinguish between them, but also he literally doesn't give a fuck about them and hasn't given them a single second thought his entire political career. And so he gets both bad sides. Yep. And Chris Wallace, of all people, held Trump to the fucking fire.
Yeah, I saw that. Chris Wallace he's not having it lately.
No, he went fucking
every
off.
month or so he's got a moment where he's just like, I'm tired of this.
I'm amazed he hasn't been fired yet. The cognitive test thing was so fucking Colton. Did you guys see that part?
Yeah. Chris Wallace is a Democrat.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised he hasn't been fired yet.
Yeah.
He's somebody literally like, he asks him about the cognitive test because, like, he brought up that Joe Biden's an idiot and he's, failing.
He's like, look at me.
He's senile.
I passed this test, which means I'm a genius.
Exactly. And then Chris Wallace was like, so I took the test. What'd you think about it? And he was just like, it was a really good representation of, like, whether or not someone's got their wits about them, blah, 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 blah. And then he was just like, so one of the questions was, like, name this animal. And it was an elephant. Like, and Trump was literally like,
the last three questions are like, who are you, where are you, and like, what day is it?
Trump was literally like, no, they get hard, that's a misrepresentation. The last 5 questions, I don't think anyone would have been able to get them, and like, and of course a bunch of people, including the Lincoln Project, posted the actual test, and it's like, oh no, these are literally like for 10-year-olds, like in elementary school. Like, fucking, what was it? Oh, yeah, he started doing the counting thing. He was like, one of the questions was starting from 100, count backwards by 7s. And, like, Trump was like, see, that's a misrepresentation. And then he was like 93. And then he started, like, counting backwards to his face. Like,
no.
Yeah, this kind of fell by the wayside. Donald Trump maybe failed or didn't do well on a dementia test or something. I don't fucking know.
Well, he passed it, quote unquote.
Oh, okay.
And he's saying Biden refuses to take it, but like meanwhile Biden's like, no, that's a test for babies. Like, that's why I'm not going to take it. Like, I'm not lowering myself to this standard like your fucking Obama birther thing. Like, this is dumb. We shouldn't be required to take this. This is literally the bare minimum. And if you have to brag about passing this test, then methinks you doth protest too much. Like,
ugh. All right, I gotta wash the taste of a lot of this out of my mouth. Let's talk about some memes if we have any.
The memes.
There's a lot of people posting pictures with Marco Rubio, but it wasn't Marco Rubio. Yeah. It was just a generic
it's like Mark
other
Ruffalo
person.
And Mark Cuban and shit like that.
Apparently the discourse has turned to whether or not Hank Hill would vote for Donald Trump.
It's fun.
To which my somewhat emphatic response is, if you think Hank Hill would vote for Donald Trump, did you even watch King of the Hill?
I think Hank Hill would vote for Donald Trump, would not vote for Donald Trump if you like the show, and he would vote for Donald Trump if you don't. As someone who watches a lot of episodes while Ian watches them, I could definitely see him voting for Trump. Like, he's a bit of a caricature, Lucas. That's kind of the point, is he's like a conservative caricature at a lot of times.
He had a moral crisis about whether or not he would vote for George Bush because Bush had a limp handshake. Like, I don't think he's voting for Trump, especially since Trump is on the record getting his steaks well done.
He doesn't care about the like moral implications of his vote then. It's like, is this guy manly enough for me?
I'd buy the argument that Hank Hill wouldn't vote in this upcoming election, but no, I don't believe Hank Hill is a Trump supporter.
Well, then you can have that.
Yeah. If it helps you enjoy the show you like more, you can think that. Fair enough.
I should go back to that. I do not know how well that show has aged, now that I think about it.
It's not good. I don't get it. That show's fucking garbage, man.
Wow!
I literally don't understand it. it's bad. There's no jokes. It's not funny. Like, it's literally just like these caricatures of people doing ridiculous shit. And Ian's like, oh, I think season 7 took a downturn. And I look and I'm like, there's 13 seasons. Like, if this is a downturn, then most of the show is like utter garbage. So, I don't know, man. It's pretty fucking rough watching it.
Fair.
But, you know, it's maybe not for me. Very
maybe
possible.
Not for meme.
Not for meme. We'll be done.
It's also on the title short list. Not for me. Okay.
Clickety clackety. Not for meme.
Is that what we're doing now? Just episode title Frankensteins. Okay.
Yeah, you need to change. It's probably too late, but you used a semicolon instead of a colon in the last episode. And I just didn't say anything because I don't think it's worth it. But
we can't have 2 colons in an episode title, Ryan.
Yeah, you can.
No, we can't.
But a semicolon's completely worthless.
How is it worthless?
Because it doesn't make sense. When you title something like that, you use the colon. Like, the secondary title follows a colon, not a semicolon. Like, maybe a comma, maybe. But even then, like, that still doesn't really work.
No, it's episode whatever, colon, the first joke, semicolon, the second joke.
But that's not how semicolons work. Semicolons are used to divide 2 different independent clauses, like in a sentence. Like, it's literally never used for that purpose. So, like, maybe a comma because it's kind of a list, but it's really not. But it's a colon. Like, in those types of meme jokes where you have a subtitle within a title, the subtitle follows the colon. Like in the one that I always reference, the Bernie Burns Rooster Teeth talk, where they like made fun of the talk titles around them, and they use like 6 colons in that. I'm just saying.
Boy, you know, if things come apart after this episode, everybody, let it know that it was this specific creative difference.
I don't think it's creative differences, though. It feels like a mask thing, where someone's like, you need to wear a mask to save our lives. And they're like, no, I don't. That's your opinion. I'm like, Lucas, Grammarly, you need to use a colon here and not a semicolon. You're like, no, I don't. That's your opinion. And I'm like, it's not creative. It's just grammar. I don't know how to explain it. And Andrew's just his silence could not be more deafening on this issue.
Way to be the Ringo in this situation, Andrew.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm from Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, also, I guess that was a little bit of a thing this week. Apparently, Ringo Starr is immortal, which is fucking cool. All right.
Why does he look the same as he did or something?
Just, like, really kind of, like, active for, I think it's like 88 or something. Really active and just aware.
I wish I knew what all these rich people did to make themselves look younger for so long. What could it be? Because it couldn't possibly be a mix of plastic surgery and HGH treatment.
Oh, man. Good old anti-aging clinics. Yeah, he's got a lot of color in that hair and beard. How could that have happened? Yeah, he's 80.
Fuck.
What, you guys, that makes you feel old? That one of the Beatles is 80? Oh, man, it seems like just yesterday they were doing that initial tour and they showed up on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Oh, God, that's... all of the Beatles being dead is definitely going to happen in my lifetime, and that's probably going to hit me harder than, like, I expect it to.
Rango looks
never
worse
say never. Lucas, there's a secret police rounding people up. You never know. You might. They live in England. It's safer there right now.
Oh, if you're a rich white old man, yes it is.
Boris
I said
ain't
safer.
Safer.
Emphasis
Okay.
on the R. Not safe. Safer.
Yeah. All right. I think that will take us into the breakouts.
So,
Go for it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lucas.
How's observation, Andrew?
It's frustrating.
No.
It's a very interesting story, which is the only reason that I keep playing, because the gameplay itself is very frustrating. The puzzles are not hard. The puzzles are pretty much just memory puzzles, but like the other half of the game is finding shit, and it's so hard to find shit in this fucking space station because one, they give you like no direction whatsoever. It's like go ahead, find shit. Like you're not really directed towards anything. But you also get super turned around, and the controls are like intentionally super wonky because it's supposed to feel like you're floating through space. But it's just like, it's so fucking hard to like find some way to get onto this laptop. And it's like, okay, so I need to find a PIN number, and there's a PIN number hidden somewhere. And you like look around, and you can find a bunch of Post-it notes that have what look to be like PIN numbers, but no, it's none of them. It's actually just some fucking date that was written on a piece of paper that like seemed like it wasn't important at all, but that like piece of paper is also like tucked behind shit, and you don't even know it's there until you like scan things, but you can't scan it until you lock onto it, which means that you have to have your mouse sitting directly over the thing in order to scan it to know that it's there. And you can't do that because you're floating around, it's impossible to aim, and it's just, it's frustrating.
So much so that you think you're gonna drop it, or
no? Because I don't think that there's that much in the game left. People said it was like a 6 to 8 hour story, which I've already played for about 6 hours. But I know that it's because I take so much longer than is intended to do things because I just cannot find them. So yeah, I don't think there's that much left.
All right.
The story is very interesting. So
what's the narrative hook of observation? I know very little about this game.
Basically, you play as the AI of a space station, so you control like cameras and computers and shit like that. And the space station like had a power outage, and it just showed up in the orbit of Saturn. And she's like, "Oh, you're at Saturn now." And then
that's how gravity works.
Yep. Like, well, I mean, like some shit definitely like happened, you know.
Yeah.
And then like there's like one of the astronauts left, and you're trying to help her find basically what happened and then like how to get back.
All right, very cool.
And there's some weird alien shit, and don't really know what's real and what's not. So,
all right, let us know what you think of that. If you finish it, or if it becomes too much. Already sounds like it's fairly obtuse. Ryan, what are you checking out?
Oh man. Remember last week we had the Ballad of Luca Toni.
Yeah.
I'm still going strong in my FIFA 13 dynasty. I did, however, leave the MLS and start over in the Premier League so that I would have better competition. And last season, I'm proud to announce that Sunderland FC, who is now currently in the real world in the 3rd division of Premier League. So they're like the minor leagues now. They won the entire Premier League last season. Bunch of new additions, a bunch of big departures. Luca Toni did not make the cut for the Premier League squad. I do, however, have a young Italian boy who is 17 years old and on the road to being a 90 overall. He's currently 77, named Casoli, and he is a fucking thickums young boy.
Oh my
like
God.
they built this. So they built the man. Like the way that the game works is he was gonna be like a barrel-chested, thick midfielder, but like all they do is they make these like because you get them when they're like 15, 16. They make them just shorter. So he was like 5'7", but looked like a fully grown fucking thick ass man who was just 5'7" with like a beard and everything. And then now he's like 17, 18, so he's more like 5'11" and he's growing, but it's just like Jesus fucking Christ. Every time you see him, it's just this fucking barrel of a man in the body of a young boy, like bullying these full-grown like professional soccer players.
What did you say his name was?
His name is Casoli. He goes by a mononym, Casoli, and good God, he's the future of my program. But at the same time, I definitely feel weird because I'm gonna remember him as a child when he's 27 and leading my team to a championship. So.
Jesus.
I have a young Italian boy is now a front runner for the title of this episode.
I got a lot of young boys that I'm paying a lot of money to hang around and do stuff. So I got some young Italians, some young Spaniards, and some young Brazilians, and they are
Don't we all?
they're at my beck and call. Whenever I need them on the senior squad, I can call them up from the youth squad, and they'll
That sounds
they'll do
bad.
their best to perform.
I keep a bunch of young men on my payroll to just hang around. I'm not going to tell you what they do, and they are at my beck and call, and they will do whatever I say.
Yep.
Sometimes
That's
I need
exactly
them. Sometimes I need them in a relief position. Sometimes I got to move some furniture. They're just around,
Yep. No, they're ready. They're ready at a pin drop. They get paid $500 a week. So
Fuck off.
chump change for a Premier League team such as Sunderland FC. But for them, that's like a gold mine coming from the slums of Brazil.
$500 a week is more than I made working as a 17-year-old.
$500 a week would be more than I make right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Not quite, but I mean,
Any benefits? You give them dental at least, Ryan?
I don't know, man. That's for the bean counters to figure out.
I don't have to give them benefits. I pay them so well that they can just pay for it themselves.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's how it works.
You're about to have a bunch of 17-year-old boys unionizing on you, but okay, have fun with that.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. And then I loan them out to all my rich buddies who when they need a young strapping lad to.
This is a bad time for that kind of shit.
Yeah, but no, literally, like the best way to develop them is like because they can't play because my team's too good for them to play right now. So I'll loan them out to all these shitty teams who then pay their salaries and hopefully they get like playing time on those shitty teams. And then they develop because they're getting playing time, and then they come back to me when they're good, and I get to play with them when they're good.
Ryan, I gotta ask, are you trafficking these young boys?
They usually stay within.
Like it.
They usually stay within the UK. Most of the time, it's like a B tier Premier League team that grabs them off the streets and
my God.
takes them off my hands for a couple years. But yeah,
Guys, I gotta go report something.
it's a weird part, but it makes sense when you think about it, I guess.
Cool.
Yep.
Lastly, I just want to mention that I have passed the 100-hour mark on Persona 5 The Royal, and I just need to fucking finish this game.
Oh, you're not done with it? You're not, like, 100%ing it? That's just the amount of time that you have to put into this game?
I think I got maybe another 35 hours in this to finish the main story.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I can't fucking imagine. This cannot be fun for you, Lucas.
It's just a lifestyle at this point.
Oh my god.
Like, okay,
stop.
cool. Got a couple 2 free hours tonight because I'm putting that into this video game. And the most fucked up thing is that, like, I'm not gonna be able to 100% it on this playthrough. That's gonna have to be a New Game Plus thing, which I'm definitely not gonna do, but fuck, yeah. Having a great time, though. Really, really enjoying it. Game of the Year contender. Fuck.
Goaty.
Yeah! Tune in December for 2020 Top 10s. We'll maybe do memes this time.
Persona 5's not gonna make it though, right?
Persona 5, no. Persona
Okay.
5, The Royal, maybe.
Persona 5 The Royal has, at this point, I'm guessing, taken up about 85% of the video game time that Lucas has played in the year 2020. So I feel like it'd be impossible for him to not put it on the list, just as principle.
I'm not saying it's making the top 5. Top 7, though? Maybe. Okay.
On the other hand, I've only played like 2 or 3 video games that came out this year so far.
You're on a media podcast, bud. Like,
I mean, I'm probably in the same boat as Andrew.
Well,
Warzone's gonna be my number 1 game.
Yeah, but I also have only seen like 2 TV shows that came out this year. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I make up for it in the other ones.
good luck keeping my anime shit out of the top 3 video games then.
My goal this year was to make up for the, like, you know, obvious lack of video games and TV shows that I knew I wasn't going to watch by watching tons of movies that came out. But then a fucking microscopic organism had to come in and fuck that all up.
Oh god, is the Sonic movie going to be in our top 10?
No.
Okay.
I also haven't seen it, so.
Well, I have, and like...
No. No.
Oh, Christ.
We all need to watch that Tom Hanks movie on Apple TV Plus.
I heard it wasn't very good.
Better than
Probably
the
not,
Sonic movie.
but- Yeah, it'll be better than the Sonic.
Yeah, I guess.
Just so that the Sonic movie isn't in there. Yeah. I mean, Hamilton, the musical, the film will count, right?
Ooh,
That
I would.
should count.
Yeah.
That's a movie that came out in 2020, so I'm excited.
All right.
I'll be putting that in there, I'm sure. And Tenet would have been number 1, I'm sure, but
Still could be.
boy,
We'll see if it ever comes out.
in December or something.
It's gonna have to be released on Fortnite, right? It's gonna have to.
As the Nolans intended. All right. Here is the moment I've been waiting for the entirety of this podcast. The group chat. Take it away, Andrew.
Lucas,
Oh no.
I've had a long weekend. You're my friend. You've been a very good friend to me for a long time. I don't know if I have the energy to do this to you.
Oh no. That is not what you say to someone that you're about to make very happy.
We don't have to do this, Lucas.
I mean, did you not read it or did you not enjoy
Oh.
Chainsaw Man?
Oh, I read it.
Okay.
I read 60 chapters of Chainsaw Man.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
Andrew, if you're about to say you don't like Chainsaw Man, you could have gotten off this ship a long time ago. I gave you an out at 3.
My goal was... So I read the first 3, and it was very bad. And then you said, here's my access to all of it. You can read all of it. And I thought, this is so bad that it has to get better. Lucas likes this so much. It has to get good at some point. So I kept reading. I kept waiting. And eventually I got to like 20 chapters in and I thought, I can finish this by the time we do the podcast. And I did not finish it. I got the first 60 chapters in. There's 15 more chapters. And I don't know if I'm going to read the last of them because, well, we're already doing this.
Why didn't you care for it? I'm genuinely curious.
It's so bad, man.
You're not you're not, like, digging into this.
Okay, Lucas, in your opinion, who is this comic for? Who is this manga for? What kind of audience?
Me specifically.
You specifically. Jesus Christ.
I'm the target. They interviewed me and they made me a comic.
Well, then I won't pretend to know what's going on inside your head, and I'll just say that it's not for literally anyone else.
Andrew,
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I do see the appeal. I see how you might look at individual parts of this manga and think that individual idea in and of itself is appealing in some sort of way. It's got something that captures your emotion, but it also is like the rest of the comic does not work with those parts. You could say this comic is meant for adults because it's very gory and gritty and violent, and they, try to get a lot of adult themes in there. But it's not for adults. It can't be, because the people that are featured in the comic are children. Either literal or mental, emotionally children. There are no characters in this story that are identifiable or likable. There is not a single likable character in this story. All of them are shit. And I don't mean that they're just poorly written, because they are. They are poorly written.
Okay. I'm going to push back on that one, but...
No, you're not. Not yet. There is a 10 chapter arc where this one character is trying to do a thing because he wants to touch boobies. And I don't mean that in that he's trying to do a favor for someone because he's got the hots for them and, blah, 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 blah. He even shouts out, "I'm doing this because I want to touch boobies."
My counterpoint, Andrew, would be, what did you want to do when you were 16?
I did not want to think constantly about sexually assaulting someone and debating the moral implications of that for about 5 pages.
It's not sexual. It's not sexual assault. Everyone was consenting to it.
There is an inner monologue that happens within the main character Denji for several pages where he debates just grabbing this woman's tits because he likes her. He's like, maybe she'll like it, but maybe she won't. But isn't that bad? But man, I really want to do that. And then this other girl comes along and is like, hey, I want you to do this thing for me. I'll give you something you want if you do it. And he's like, oh, can I touch your boobs? And she's like, sure. And he's like, oh, well, now I don't have to assault this other woman because I can just touch this girl's boobs if I do her a favor. And then other shit happens, and then he gets like beaten down and almost dies. But he's like, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna fight. And they're like, foolish human, why would you do that? And he's like, because I haven't touched boobs yet. And then that goes on for like another 2 chapters. He's fighting this bat monster because he's constantly yelling out, I'm gonna touch some boobs. And that was the whole thing. And then also he does some other shit, and he's like, I'm gonna do this because this girl said she would kiss me. And then she vomits in his mouth, and it's weird. And then she takes him home, and even though she's like 30 and he's 16, she tries to fuck him. And then she's like, oh, silly me, I can't fuck you. I would go to jail. Even though she like just took off all her clothes and grinded on him. And then it's just, I don't know. Also, like, I do genuinely laugh out loud every time they introduce one of the devils, because I can't take it seriously. Every single time they introduce a character or a bad guy, I cannot stop laughing because it's like, I'm the gun devil. And I find that fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm the blood devil. I'm the typhoon devil. I'm the tomato devil. I'm the shark devil. Any kind of thing you can think of is a devil. I fucking hate it.
I don't.
But I hate it so much that I actually get enjoyment reading it because my capacity for self-loathing is unfathomable. And every one of these characters is either an emotional child who talks constantly about how they feel no emotion and they just want to, eat, and they don't give a shit about anyone else, and they're just like a complete moron, because that's another trope in manga and anime that I can't stand. Is, what if you just take a person and make them the dumbest fucking thing you can think of, just so incomprehensibly stupid and unintelligent? People like that, right? That's charming, right? But it's not. Or you have just this character who's incredibly loud and shouts out constantly about how great they are, and that's the character, that's all they are. Or you have this brooding guy who's like, I'm a piece of shit and I hate you and I'm going to treat you poorly because that's who I am. Or you have an alcoholic dude who is just talking all the time about how he's an alcoholic. And then you have this other girl who everyone's in love with, even though she's so clearly like 100% evil and has no qualities about her that anyone could ever like, but everyone's in love with her the whole time. And then you have other characters who just talk about all the time. They're like, you can only do this job if you're insane. See, your problem is that you're not insane. I'm insane. That's why I can do this job. And then, oh, looks like you actually are insane. I think you could do this job, but I don't like you anymore because you're insane. You gotta be sane if I gotta like you, but now you're insane, which means you can do this job, but I can't like you. And then full page spreads of just women that are naked and grinding on each other because they're like, oh my god, I'm horny now, I don't know what to do. All these women like me. Look at all of them, they're naked. This is gonna come back every 7 pages. But at least I am a character who is also a chainsaw.
I'm not going to say that... Well, okay, you were a little obtuse about some points, but like...
I read 60 chapters on this, Lucas. You can't say I didn't give it a chance.
No, what I'm about to say is like, oh, cool. Yeah, you read that. You gave a kind of an obtuse description for some parts of it, but also, like, do you just not get it? Are you not able to, like, understand this media? And it's fine if you aren't, but, like, okay, cool. You don't get it. That's fine.
Do I not?
No.
I am too stupid to understand manga, I guess. I'm going to put that on the record. That's actually going to be the opening for next week's episode. It's like, in this corner, we have a guy who is living out his dream job. And then this guy is the most eligible bachelor in Los Angeles. And this guy is too stupid to understand manga.
I mean, like, can you... God, where do I even start with all of this? Like,
well, then explain to me what I'm being obtuse about. Tell me what I'm not getting about this, and tell me why my description was not accurate.
I'm not going to say your description was wholly inaccurate. I don't think you did some parts of justice, but, like, can you, like, not... I don't know, as an example, like, can you not even appreciate how profoundly sad it is that the main character goes from abject poverty to essentially being a slave and is just fucking over the moon happy about it?
No, it's not profound, because he's a piece of shit. Like, none of these characters are relatable, and yeah,
I'm also like, going to push back on that.
Like, okay, which one do you relate with, Lucas? Because
I'm not going to say I see myself in any of these characters, but there are definitely some situations where it's like, yep, I was in a place in my life where, like, that's a feeling. Like, I don't think you got there yet, but there was, like, a situation where another character said to the main character, Denji, that, like, I just really don't want you to hate me right now. And, like, fuck, that's a conversation I've had with people I've been close with way too many times. Or, like, the fucking, yeah, when he finally does get to second base, and then the only emotion that he can muster after is, fuck, that was nowhere near as great as I thought it would be. Is that just going to be everything in my life now? Everything that I build up as being this big monumental thing is going to be a fucking nothing burger.
No, I do not think that is profound. No, I do not. Because I saw what they were trying to do, but you don't get to try to be profound about the impacts of poverty by someone in the first page being like, I sold my eye, my lung, and my testicle to get rid of this debt. I guess I'll never live off this debt. Oh well, I'm gonna keep going anyway. And then try to pretend that that is, like, deep when they just said it right in front of you. And then also make that character just an absolute, like, moron.
All right, then I guess, like, what are better pieces of media that you think are trying to do similar things to what Chainsaw Man is doing?
What is Chainsaw Man doing? What is it doing, Lucas?
I think it is a very compelling story of just, like, a lot of teenager stuff, but also a lot of these goals, these things that we set for ourselves as being important, these things that we come to define ourselves by. What do we do when those become unachievable, or when the amount you have to sacrifice to achieve them is not worthwhile? I think that fundamentally is what Chainsaw Man is asking and examining.
No. No.
All right, well, I appreciate you giving it a chance. I'm sorry you're wrong about it, but all right, here we are. I appreciate that you value our friendship enough to check out this piece of media that I think might be the best thing I've ever read.
Oh, Lucas.
Can you at least appreciate that there's nothing else like it? That it feels like this wholly... just... It is so fucking authored.
I don't think that this is that unique. Like, I'm not going to say that I'm an expert in manga or anime or any of that shit because I've read very little, but I'm finding every, like, anime trope that, you know, we've made fun of before in this. I don't think it's very original to have teenage boy has some sort of strange circumstances happen to him, finds himself in a different life with some sort of magical powers fighting monsters with the goal of fighting the biggest, baddest monster at the end.
So you don't like the hero's journey, is what you're saying.
It's not a hero's journey, Lucas. It's not. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I mean, it's fine if you only like non-traditional narrative structures. Like, I can respect that, but...
Okay, we gotta stop this.
Do we?
Yes.
Okay, yes, you do need to stop being wrong.
Oh my god. Let's do the wacky post roll after clap sync.
All right. I guess we do kind of need a break from all this wrongness. Ryan, how's it going? Kind of elbowed you out of the last little bit of that podcast, and I apologize for that.
Yeah, you know. You guys,
are
never going to get along on the topic of anime and manga. And you keep trying, and it keeps being more and more obvious that it's never going to happen. You're never going to meet this this gorgeous understanding of each other. And Andrew didn't grow up with the medium similar to me, so I think he's only ever going to see the problems that you're much more apt to overlook. So Andrew's probably not paying that close of attention to some of the various story themes that are developing, because all he can think about is the problematic stuff that's included in it as like a part of the medium generally. Even if it's kept to a minimum, that's going to completely occupy his opinions as they develop about the story and everything. And since you grew up on this and you kind of are now able to not necessarily overlook, but at the very least like move past that and still enjoy the narrative, you're never going to see eye to eye. How about that?
I agree. Andrew will never be able to get on my level with this.
And that might be a good thing, though. How about that?
No, I get it. Like, if you just want to be, like, blind to a big part of media and, like, not have to consider any of that, like, cool. If you're happy in ignorance, then that is totally fine.
So just answer me this, Lucas. If there was manga without any of the problematic anime tropes, like, that'd be better, right? Like, that'd be cool if that existed?
Yes, media that is not problematic in any kind of way and just soft and rounded and digestible would be fantastic. That definitely sounds like an interesting space to live in.
That's fair.
So, let me ask you this, Lucas.
Oh boy, here we go.
Do you think the writing, the dialogue in Chainsaw Man, in the English version, is due to some sort of, I don't know, poor Japanese to English translation where there's something just kind of lost there? Or is the writing of the story just bad? Like, because I can forgive some of the dialogue if it's like, oh yeah, this was written in Japanese and, you know, it was translated to English and something was just kind of lost there. And that's why it sounds so fucking stupid. Or do you think there is something else there that just makes it so incomprehensibly unnatural?
Well, I do agree, Andrew, that it does seem like you weren't able to comprehend this, but also, no, I don't think this was a particularly poor translation. Actually, the team behind it, I think, was great, and, like, I think there's some really, like, if not exceptional, then at the very least, relatable writing in there. Like, the second he meets another girl that he realizes he likes, and the line of, oh yeah, this girl definitely likes me. Oh crap, I like girls that like me. I think was just, yeah, I think that was good. And I don't understand why you thought it wasn't.
Because it didn't sound like two humans talking to each other.
All right.
I can get behind someone liking this for the Dragon Ball Z-esque aspect of like, this is fun and dumb, and I laugh while I consume this, and there's a bunch of different sort of monsters, and it's like kind of bad and funny, and like whatever. But I don't think I can get behind someone saying that this is good because it is actually good. I can see the appeal of someone taking this as like sort of the childhood sitting in front of the TV with cereal, or just like laughing out loud as you like read it because it's kind of just cheesy and dumb. But like I don't think I could ever get behind someone actually saying it's good, like writing and a actually good story, and that there's like deep meaning behind it.
I mean, I'll agree with you that I think a part of the charm of this series is that it's definitely channeling a B-movie kind of vibe, but I don't know, to say that it's not hitting on themes and ideas that aren't, I don't know, that I certainly related with, that if I can't necessarily imprint on the main character, I can at least like understand some of the emotions that are at play right now, then I don't know, man. I'm sorry you can't have this hit in the same way that it's hitting with me.
I'm sorry too, Lucas.
And I'm sorry this played out this way, listeners. But I hope you enjoyed the episode regardless. Hey, if you're out there thinking that you can't get your friends to check out a piece of media that's meaningful to you, you can definitely do it. It might not go the way you expect, but you can definitely do it. Also be sure to check out the ActBlue donation link down below. If you're able to make a donation that goes to a collection of great causes. Like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast, all the stuff, depending on the platform that you are listening to this on. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at V2_podcast for updates. Email us your questions or business opportunities, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com, and support us on Patreon to join the likes of Sensual Richard Nixon, Sucky Badger, and Tiffany Cole. Was that all the stuff? I feel like I'm missing something.
I think that's everything. I don't know anything else.
Oh, you forgot to tell me to go fuck myself. That's what you're forgetting.
No, I'm missing a part of my soul. That's what I'm missing now. That's just gone. Not even dead, just like carved out of me.
What have you done, Andrew? You could have pretended that you never read it.
I told him we didn't have to do this. He made that decision. I warned him.
It's fine. No. It's fine. I wish I could have at least engaged in a level of conversation where, oh, why don't you like this thing? Oh, okay, I understand why it didn't click with you. We could have gotten past the, well, this is just bad phase of like media analysis, but here we are. This is my life. Thank you all for listening. See you Monday for a new episode of the Quarantine Cast. And yeah, goodbye.